Hey foodies! Today I'm going to share with you here on Sit Bite Go one of my favorite sous vide cooking tricks. Today you'll learn how to sous vide boneless ribeye steak with a mayo sear. Yep, you're not only going to learn how to sous vide the boneless ribeye steak, but you're going to learn how to finish it with a really delicious, juicy crust that's made possible by mayonnaise. Yep, the same mayonnaise that's probably in your fridge right now. Searing sous vide steak with mayonnaise is a fantastic way to infuse extra flavor and juice. It's an easy trick you're going to love. So join me, Jenna Passaro, in the kitchen as I show you how to do it. The first thing you do is you preheat your sous vide machine to 132 degrees. For me, this is a perfect temperature, but you could use any temperature you'd like. My temperature of 132 degrees will get you a nice medium rare steak that you're going to then finish to a medium rare or medium. You season the ribeye steak with salt. Of course, you could use other seasonings at this time, but even just a little bit of salt goes a long way to add flavor. Vacuum seal boneless ribeye steak for sous vide cooking, or you can pop it in a Ziploc bag, and then it's ready to go in the sous vide bath for about 2.5 hours. Now, you could sous vide steak from anywhere from 1 to 4 hours, but I love the tenderness that sous vide boneless ribeye steak gets at 2.5 hours. You could also sous vide it from frozen. You just need to add an extra hour. Once it's done cooking in the sous vide bath, remove sous vide boneless ribeye from the hot water. You could shock the steak in an ice water bath to stop the cooking process, but to be honest, sometimes I skip that because I just am short on time as a toddler mom. So remove steak from the bag and pat it dry with a paper towel. This removes the extra moisture, so that means the mayo will stick to the outside of the steak. Next, you need to smear mayo on the sous vide boneless ribeye to form a thin coating on all sides and edges. Definitely do not forget those edges. You want the mayo to be all over the steak. You just won't want too much mayo. Really, a really thin layer of mayo does the trick. You could sprinkle on smoked pepper and garlic salt like I like to do as desired, or you could skip that extra seasoning if you want. Mayo sear boneless sous vide ribeye in a cast iron skillet on medium-high heat. You don't need to add extra butter or oil to the pan. The mayo will sear and create a tasty crust on the steak. Of course, I can't help but throw in a little oil or butter here and there, so do as I say, not as I do, or do as I do, do as you please. So sear each side of the boneless ribeye until a brown crust forms, about 20 to 30 seconds on each side. Then, when you're done searing it, when that beautiful brown crust is on the outside, move sous vide boneless ribeye steak to a cutting board to cool for at least 10 minutes before serving. This means it'll keep all those juicy flavors inside and they won't run out onto the cutting board. Sous vide boneless ribeye is a really delicious cut of meat. It's juicy, and adding the mayo just brings it extra flavor and extra juice. It's not that you're going to taste the mayo in the final steak, it's that the mayo is adding all that juicy, good flavor, and I don't know how to describe it, but I don't think most people would know there's actually mayo on the steak. This is definitely a fun trick. Hey home chefs, don't forget to grab a copy of my free sous vide beginner's recipe ebook. If you think sous vide steak is delicious, wait till you try sous vide lobster, wings, corn, and more. It's like a mini preview of my popular print book, The Home Chef Sous Vide Cookbook, which is available on Amazon and has over 100 sous vide cooking recipes. I can't wait for you to check out some of my favorite dishes in this book. To get your free copy, go to freesousvidebook.com. Again, that's freesousvidebook.com. Well, I hope that you're thoroughly inspired to try something new today with this ribeye steak with a mayo sear. Using the sous vide process is one of my favorite ways to cook, and this just makes it a little extra special. If you love to eat delicious food, make sure to subscribe to the Sit Bite Go channel on YouTube. I have so many delicious recipes heading your way. Subscribe today. Well, until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful and delicious day. Cheers!